Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
CatholicUnderground.com, the podcast about our Catholic faith and new media.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Egyptian killing spree. A Muslim mob marched on Catholics in Cairo over the weekend, shooting a dozen parishioners and burning their homes and churches, while local military called in to help, stood and watched. 3,000 Salafi jihadists formed outside St. Mina's parish in response to a rumor that a formerly Catholic Muslim woman who wished to revert back to her faith was hiding from her husband inside the church. It is not known if the girl was in the church or even if she exists, but the Muslims demanded a search, were refused, and responded by a deadly 14-hour rampage. In total, 12 were left dead, over 200 injured, and 2 churches were left in ashes. Navy chapels violate DOMA Law. The U.S. Navy is now allowing same-sex couples to be married in their chapels amidst objections citing the Defense of Marriage Act. In anticipation of the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, the Chief of Navy Chaplains signed a memo calling all Navy bases neutral, allowing same-sex unions to take place on bases in states that allow it. A Navy spokeswoman told Catholic News Service that the memo reflects a change in training for chaplains and not a change in policy, but the state representatives point out that the use of federal facilities to marry homosexual couples is a clear violation of DOMA Law. One representative goes on to say that all members of the military are sworn to obey the law, which this initiative clearly violates. Aussie bishops defrock pedophile priests. 14 Australian priests are being defrocked after being convicted of sex abuse. Of those convicted, 4 have already been defrocked, and another 5 applications stand before the Vatican for confirmation, with another 2 cases being prepared for submission later this year. The actions follow complaints last year of priests not being held accountable for their actions, with one priest removed after 300 substantiated allegations. Melbourne's Vicar General confirms current efforts as a result of recent changes to canon law that allow laicization of priests without their consent and without a trial. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And theAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hungary defends marriage and the unborn. The former Soviet bloc country has inflamed the European Union by signing in a new constitution that forbids same-sex marriage and recognizes life from conception. The document seeks to better the country's economy and move away from its former communist ways of doing things. Parliamentary Speaker Laszlo Kovar told the Associated Press, quote, "The new constitution is built upon our past and traditions, but seeks and contains answers to current problems while keeping an eye on the future," end quote. Same-sex marriage and pro-death activists are already crying foul because they are claiming rights to a disordered lifestyle. Mideast priests named Prelate. Pope Benedict XVI has named the world's only Israeli-born priest, a judge in the Roman Rota, the highest appellate tribunal in the Church. Father David Yeager was a teen convert to the Catholic faith from Judaism and is now an expert on church in the Holy Land, especially in church-state relations. A previous pastor in Austin, Texas, he was instrumental in negotiating the fundamental agreement between the Holy See and the State of Israel, which regulates the freedom of Christians to visit and practice religion in the Holy Land. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And be sure to check out The Vortex today, where Michael will discuss Cardinal Burke and Planned Parenthood. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tell all your friends about us. And as always, God bless.